So look, this is, this is going to be a quick review on the Teraxititan Premium model. So, as you can see, there's a bunch of them around. Um, we'll do this. So, images. So this is the vanilla variant. Excuse me, I'm kind of sick right now. Um, but yeah, generic one. It's a variant. Is a torch pattern right here, which is also just another variant. Nothing really different in between the two. Their eggs do cost different, um, but other than that, it's a different pattern. Um, the big ones, as you can see, are going to be balanced around Kark and Giga. Obviously, you can tell by the size, it's going to be a very strong dino. And you got the small ones for people who are like me, who don't like the kaiju-sized dinosaurs, although they are still very big. They're approximately Rex size or Rex equivalent, discounting that they're just taller. Um, they will, be balanced on Rex, similar to Rex stats, damage. Um, they keep a lot of the same utility as the big ones, but it's just more or less the side grade. Um, with that, we have the base battle, which is fully custom made along with everything in this mod, excluding bone piles and the strippers. Um, some shoulder padding, some embroidery on his belly armor, whatever you would call that. You got a seat, a little bag, all this custom made, custom texture. Pretty proud of it. I think it's definitely my best looking saddle. Um, then you got the crazy armored saddle, um, which again, uh, the base saddle has a armor value of 25, I believe. Yeah, 25. So it's a default, and you make both of them in the smith. Um, this one has armor value of 50. Yeah, obviously because it's a lot more armor, stronger looking. I do plan on making a armored helmet, um, and probably like a smaller like leather helmet to go with both saddles. We'll give a small armor of like 5 or 10 or something. Just give it a little bit more, and you know, it looks a little odd not having a helmet, the full suit armor. Um, yeah, I'm pretty proud of this too. It's very similar to my Victus penis, but I think the plating matches very well. Um, but yeah, that's the visual of Trex Titan and its saddle. Now we will get on a bigger one. So it has all custom animations, um, and we'll start off with its attacks. So it has a basic fight attack with 4 different variations, just because I think it helps with breaking up, the same old animation. It has a cosmetic lore, which currently it only has one. I'm going to make more before the 21st when this is set to release. Um, it has a claw attack, which is directional. So if you're looking, you know, forward, slightly left, it's going to do the double claw. But once you get past the 90-degree angle, it's going to do a directional single hand one because it looks a lot better doing it that way than having a double claw one. His toe tag animations are still in progress, so they're currently not in one. He has a directional stomp attack when you're looking 120 degrees. There will be particles. I'm just having trouble finding good looking ones. Um, yeah. Um, he has his G roar. So clicking G, well, it should be. Let me get out the GCM to see if that makes a difference. I've been having problems with it. This will be Yeah, apparently you can't do it in creative. Oh, you can't do it in creative mode because G is the keybind for breaking stuff. So clicking G will do the rad door, which will give you and your allies radiation immunity for how long it takes. I think it's 45 seconds. No, 120 seconds. So 2 minutes. And then if you hold down spacebar and click G, it does a heal more, which gives you a healing buff. Also, if you hold down spacebar, you got to turn in place because I believe everything should have a turn in place. It's one thing I think this game is lacking in is its movement capabilities. Um, and then the buff door, which is his one of his main things. So if you click C, it'll go through this animation, and as you can see in the top left or right, you get the Teraxititan rally buff. There are 5 of these buffs in total, ranging from different drag rates. So you got 3,000, 750, 550, 450, and then 300. And the smaller the creature is, the more buffs you get. All of these stack, and the stronger it makes some of these small dinos that don't get much use should help buff them and maybe make people play with them more. It's a range between defense, attack, and movement speed. Um, so I think if you have all 5 of them, you have like a 45% damage reduction and 45% attack, and then 15% movement speed. It's something along the lines of that. And as you can see, it lasts a minute. So you have to do the breath, or not the breath, the buff that you can only do it once a minute. Well, currently it's unlimited for testing purposes. So next, his oxygen stat has been turned into his element breath stat. So he doesn't actually use oxygen when he's in the water or anything. Um, so if you hold down space and click X, as you can see, that is an out animation. There will be a delay on that. But if you hold it down and then you release spacebar, you click the button, and he has a breath attack. As you can see, it's using his element breath attack. Yeah, I mean, it's a generic breath attack. Does damage. It leaves an element scope on anything that it hits. I believe Titans are immune to it, similar to how Wyverns are immune to their own breaths. And it's a mix of purple, pink, and cyan for to kind of get that element feel to it, as there's a bunch of different types of element in the game. Since this is a crafted dino, you harvest genomes and whatnot for it. And some nice animations. I went through and finally figured out how to get the leg arcade working for the most part. Um, so his leg will match the terrain, similar to how the Rex does. It's very hard to do. Blender is not cooperative when it comes to the dev kits due to bone orientation. Um, that's kind of the general gist. Um, there is going to be more with Teraxititan, but I thought it would be smart to get a release version out and then have big updates. For example, the Road Teraxititan, which was the box, isn't actually going to be able to come out because I'm having problems baking the mesh. But that would be a big boss fight. I also want to. He's gonna have a weapon arsenal where he's gonna have, I think, a sword, a hammer, and a halberd. I think is what it's called. Where he can do combat with the weapon, go to different stances. As at least something I want to do. Potentially adding in more armor. Um, and yeah, make it feel like you're not just you didn't just buy a generic dinosaur. You got something that's going to be continually updated, um, and be pretty cool. At least I think so. So when it comes to actually obtaining Titan, you'll have these dynamically spawning bone blocks. So let me get a pick real quick. Okay, um, so this Stego bone pile, you come with a pick, as you can see, it's 1,000 health, and my friend Transpawning Vagabond actually showed me how to get these to spawn. But actually start off as a Dodo and will transform into the static mesh that is harvestable. Um, there's a bunch of different ones that spawn. Well, there's Stega, a Rex, a Giga, and a Karn. They kind of some of the main features of each. Um, the Carno being the crest, Giga being the size, Rex being some part, Thagamizers on the tail being Stega and whatnot. Um, this is the Giga, and that is the current. They spawn on every map, um, and they seem to be working fine. They spawn underwater. They have a bunch of different spawn zones. There's, I think, 20 of them in total randomly. So once you got your raw genome from these structures, you would bring them into your gene splicer. So you got your Giga and your Stega. So after that, uh, as you see, there's this refined genome. Um, there's four of them for each of the four dinos. And then you need to get, for example, a gigaheart. We'll get you refined gigaheart genome. For the Rex, I think there is, um, well, okay, maybe not. Maybe I didn't do it. The Stego is being a little weird. I don't know why they didn't show that twice. But for Carno, you get Alpha Carno arm. See, like I don't know why it's doing that. There's supposed to be a head genome and a arm genome for the Rex. If it's popping up correctly. These have been super pain in the butt getting working, but I've had it working. It's probably just something weird happening. So then you would bring your genomes to your um, embryo transfer. So this is also another problem we're having. The big Teraxititan egg icon just will not show up. I have no clue why. And the small one, this will all be fixed. I will make sure that it's fixed. But as you can see, it's a very costly procedure, but it should be worth it. It is made to be an in-game creature. So you get some of these stuff. The small one is cheaper than the big one. And for the boss will not require equipment. And when you kill the boss, you'll get plenty of blueprints, similar to like kind of Savage Aggro or boss fights. Where it's going to be very worth doing it. And you will also drop a Drex Magnetic. You'll drop one small one and one big one. And they are guaranteed to spawn max level regardless if it's a boss drop or a crafted one. Spawn max level depending on whatever your server setting is. So if you're on difficulty 6, it will spawn at 270. And if you're a default, it will do 225, and so on. So you would craft it. I'll just do it in here. Egg. So, boom, boom. So you get in your inventory, and what you're going to do is you're going to consume it. And as you can see, it drops fertilized eggs. And the kit max level is 45. So, um, and you just hatch it, and you would raise it how you would raise the other dino. Um, that is what this all of the release content for the time being. Um, it is planned to, like I said, add more. There's going to be a big boss update, and it's going to drop a costume, eggs, blueprints, all kinds of stuff. Um, and either within that same update or small updates, there will be mechanic changes with the combat stances. Um, there'll be a sword combat stance. There'll be a spear one with unique attacks. Um, it's a lot of work that I don't have time to do right now. So, but it will be done. 100% will be done. Um, I want to keep adding content to this mod because if someone's going to buy it, I want to make sure they're getting their money's worth. Um, Also, with Extinction around the corner, I can't say for the release of Extinction it'll be ready, but there will be a Titan killer, Teraxititan. Sorry. Um, it will be a bigger, stronger variant made to fight the Titans. The whole premise of this idea came from ASE. He was made to kill Titans. His name, Teraxititan. It's been tweaked. But yeah, thanks you for your time. There's a lot, not a lot. There's a few small bugs, and it's in the polishing stage. I want to add idle breaks. Oh, actually, his other really cool mechanic. So he has an element rage mode. I have this on the keybind for testing purposes. If you click F1, we'll go into this. There's supposed to be particle play, but as you can see, he glows. Um, with this, he takes 15% less damage, does 15% more damage, and for his breath attack, um, he regenerates his breath faster. So as you can see, it's going up a lot. You can do your breath for a lot longer. Um, he's a really cool bit of code. My good friend Gal showed me. Um, yeah. Um, I don't know why that particle didn't play. I can test it on one of these dudes over here. Particles are not my thing. Oh, there you go. Okay, yeah, the big thing. It does, and also it replaces your left click attack with the same thing, and it does a big knockback. And does a good amount of damage. And this element explosion is the idea behind it. But yeah, the small one also does have a different run cycle because it is smaller. It wouldn't make sense for it to be as slow. But yeah, yeah. Thank you for your time. That's Rex Titan so far. Um, I think he's looking very promising. And yeah, uh, talk to you guys later.